Renting isn't the problem. It's the way most people rent that's quietly draining their savings, wrecking their credit, and blocking their path to financial freedom. We're not here to shame renters. We're here to help you stop making the 3 most expensive mistakes most renters never even realize they're making. Stick around. This episode could save you thousands. Hey, welcome to Normal People Finance. This is the anti-guru personal finance channel for anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed by the advice out there. We're not here to sell you a course, pitch you a book, or judge you for renting instead of buying. We're here to help you get smart about your money. If that sounds like something you've been missing, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. And now, let's talk rent. Here's the first hard truth. Most people rent more space than they actually use. And it makes sense. We're told bigger is better. We want a guest room, a home office, a giant kitchen island, maybe even a chill zone, whatever that is. But here's the problem. Every 100 extra square feet costs you hundreds of dollars a year. Not just in rent, but also in heating, cooling, furnishing, and cleaning. Let's say you pay an extra $200 a month for that second bedroom, just in case. That's $2,400 a year. Over a 5-year period, $12,000. And that's before you add utilities, cable boxes, furniture, and higher security deposits. And ask yourself this, when's the last time someone actually stayed in that guest room? Do you really work better from that second bedroom than you would at a co-working space or a library? In Seattle, the average rent for a 1-bedroom apartment is about $1,900. Jump to a 2-bedroom, $2,600. That's $700 a month. $8,400 a year for a second room you might use 3 times a month. Downsizing or choosing more efficient layouts isn't about sacrifice, it's about values. If your goal is financial freedom, mobility, or building an emergency fund, those few $100s can go way further elsewhere. Fix it. Make a list of your actual square footage needs. If you're a couple, maybe you can live with 1 shared closet instead of 2. If you're solo, ask whether you can rent a studio with great amenities instead of a big 1-bedroom with none. And remember, space doesn't equal peace. Design, lighting, noise levels, and location matter way more than square footage. Most renters think rent is like gravity, fixed, inevitable, and slowly pulling your money downward. But here's the secret. Rent is negotiable more often than you think, especially during lease renewals, slower seasons like winter, or if you're a solid tenant with on-time payments. Landlords hate vacancies. A single empty month can cost them way more than dropping your rent, $50 to $100. Let's say your lease is ending in February. That's off-season in most markets. Fewer renters are moving. Your landlord knows this. If you offer to renew early, say 60 days before your lease ends, you can often lock in your current rate or avoid a big hike. Bonus tips for negotiation. Be polite, early, and informed. Send your email 60 to 90 days before lease end. Screenshot comparable listings on Zillow, Craigslist, or Apartments.com. Highlight your history. Clean record, no complaints, on-time payments. If they say no, you still win because now you've opened the conversation and signaled you're paying attention. Renters who negotiate, even once, are more likely to get deals in the future. This is the silent killer most renters don't plan for. Deposits for a new place, movers, trucks, and time off work. Paying double rent during a transition month. The result? Scrambling. Credit card debt, or settling for a worse place out of desperation. Here's a scenario that plays out way too often. You get a lease renewal offer, rent's jumping $250 a month. You panic. You scramble to find a new place. You pay a deposit, first month's rent, maybe even overlap a few days. Boom. You're out $3,000 before the first night in your new apartment. How to avoid it? Start budgeting for a move, even if you're not planning one. Set aside $50 to $100 per month into a housing buffer account. That way, you're not caught off guard. Know your timeline. Lease ending in 3 months? Start browsing now. Landlords often post 30 to 60 days in advance. Understand your rights. Some cities have limits on how much rent can increase annually. Look up tenant protection laws in your area. It could save you from predatory hikes. And if you do plan to move, factor in everything: moving truck or movers, time off work, packing supplies, hookup fees for internet and utilities, renter's insurance for the new place. A smooth move is expensive, but a last-minute move is financially brutal. Renting isn't wasting money. Let's be real, renting gets a bad rap. You've probably heard this line: "You're just throwing money away." But that's not true. Renting is paying for shelter, safety, flexibility, and freedom. Just like homeowners pay mortgage interest, insurance, taxes, and repairs. Homeowners lose money too, just in different categories. The difference is when you rent, your costs are predictable. You're not shelling out $6,000 when the water heater dies or replacing a roof. You also have mobility. Want to change neighborhoods? Switch cities? Move for a job? Rent lets you do that with minimal friction. For people in their 20s, 30s, or even 40s, especially those still building savings, careers, or families, renting can be the smarter choice, but only if you do it strategically. Let's run it back. Renting isn't wasting money. Living beyond your means is. Mistake 1, renting too much space. Mistake 2, not negotiating your lease. Mistake 3, failing to plan for renewal costs or moving. And the biggest shift? Seeing rent not as a failure, but as a tool. You're paying for freedom, not throwing money away. But freedom only works when you've got a plan. If you learned something new today, or just feel a little less bad about renting, hit that subscribe button. We've got more honest, practical advice coming every week. And in the comments, let us know. Have you ever successfully negotiated your rent? Or gotten hit with a surprise increase? Next up, we're breaking down the best side hustles you can start with $0. So if you're renting and looking to boost your income, that one's for you. Catch you there.